Hello, today we are still working in our scatterplot packet. We are on day 3 where we are going to continue to use trend lines to make predictions. So here we go. This graph shows the relationship between the height and the length of arm span. Height and the length of arm span. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to draw a trend line to approximate the linear relationship of the data. So use another piece of paper, use your folder to make a trend line. Remember, you want about half above and about half below your trend line of your data set. So something like that. Let's describe the association and what it means for the situation. So the general pattern of my scatter plot is it is moving in an upwards direction. That means it is positive. And it is following a general line pattern. So it's a linear association. What does this mean for this situation? As height increases, arm span also increases. So the taller you are, the wider your arm span is. Now we can use our trend line to make predictions. So according to the trend line, what would be the arm span of someone that is 145 centimeters tall? So 145 centimeters tall, is that describing my X values or my Y values? So talking about how tall they are, it's my height, so it's my X value. So I'm gonna go to where it's about 145, somewhere like that. And I'm gonna follow that up to where it hits my trend line. And then I'm gonna go over to my Y-axis to see about where it would hit. So using my trend line, I can see if someone is about 140, or someone that is 145 centimeters tall, their arm span is going to be about 150 centimeters. And I made that prediction using my trend line. This next question, what score would you expect the height of someone to be that has an arm span of 183? So this one's changing it on us. They want us to look and see if I have an arm span of 183. So I'm looking at my Y value now. So 183 is gonna be somewhere up here, pretty close to 180. And I'm going to follow that trend line, follow that to my trend line, and then see where does it hit on my scatter plot. So looking here, my height is going to be about 180 centimeters. Again, I made this prediction using my trend line. On this bottom example, you have to draw, or you have to first use the table that has my X and my Y values to plot the points onto our scatter plot. So the table shows the number of cable TV subscribers over time since 2007. I already put the points on my graph. You need to pause the video and also put the points on your scatter plot. First step, we're going to describe the association, what it means for the situation. So my association, the general pattern of my points in my graph is that it's moving downwards, so it's negative. It's a negative association, and it's following a general line pattern, so it's linear. Now, what does this mean for my situation? So, cable descriptions or cable subscriptions have decreased since 2007. So since 2007, less people are subscribing to cable. So I need to now make a trend line. I'm going to use my straight edge, get as close to the middle of all those points as possible. Something like that. According to the trend line, how many subscribers would you expect in 2020? So 2020, how many years past 2007 is 2020? That is 7 years after 2007. So over here, I'm gonna go to, that's 13 years after 2007. So I'm gonna go to where it says 13. I'm gonna go up to where that hits my trend line. Go over to my Y to see about where it's at. So I'm assuming it's gonna be about uh, 25 million subscribers. The next one, use the trend line to predict the number of cable subscribers in 2014. So 2014, that is 7 years after 2007. So now I'm gonna go to where it says 7 years, go up to my trend line, go over to my Y-axis. So it's gonna be about 45 million subscribers. When you're done copying today's notes, go ahead and finish your assignment in Google Classroom.